Folks, the Social Security Administration is at risk of defaulting. And when that happens, that means no Social Security benefits anymore. New payments will be going out to eligible seniors in just a couple of days, so get your stimulus ready. You can be getting it actually sooner than we all expected. That's because of what this President Biden just did for the fourth stimulus check. Watch this, folks. You don't want to miss out on the important news. Nearly all American workers are eligible for Social Security. People can choose to start receiving them pretty much at the age of 62. Full retirement age is currently set at 67, and that's even for people who were born in the 60s. But nearly 90% of eligible Americans claim Social Security at or before the full retirement age, with about a third of beneficiaries claiming the age 62 as their earliest time possible. But if you are one of the few who can hold out and start claiming later, well, it's going to have significant impacts on your financial life. According to economists, lawmakers, things like this, Social Security is just careening towards insolvency. The only question up for debate is when it will happen. The Fed's program trustees stated that in their latest update, Social Security's trust funds will run out of money in 2035. But less than 2 months ago, the Budget Office projected Social Security would become insolvent in just 10 years. But contrary to some American fears, Social Security benefits won't be cut when the trust funds are exhausted. Payroll taxes at current levels should enable the program to continue paying around 80% of benefits. Still, those steep benefit cuts could hurt the millions of retirees. Politicians in both major political parties want to prevent this from happening. In particular, Joe Biden wants to make wages more subject to taxes. Currently, Americans pay this payroll tax only on income of up to $160,000. Under Biden's campaign plan, though, any income above $400,000 per year will be taxed. One key downside of that is that it would be enough to tax the Social Security by itself. The Urban Institute 2020 analysis of the Biden campaign plan found that increasing the payroll tax cap would only reduce Social Security's long-term deficit by 20%, and it would push back the program by only 5 years. Under the program relates to this is that the Social Security changes would make Biden pretty much not a good decision maker on this because Republican senators want to allow Congress to reauthorize Social Security instead of trying to fix it on their own.
Thank you. I haven't asked my question yet. I'm going to ask mine, and I'll go right to Senator Hickenlooper. My question is going to be to all of you very, very quickly, if you can give us answers. Inflation. What's inflation in your territories? What is the inflation? What is the most contributing factor to inflation? What are you fighting the most right now? Is it food? Is it energy prices? What is it, but where's your inflation rate? What's your greatest?
The long answer is the Social Security Act doesn't allow the agency to use money for administrative work not connected to its main mission. So they couldn't get the IRS the information it needed to send out checks. But thanks to some legal wrangling, that's been worked out. One group left out of this good news, VA beneficiaries. The IRS says it's continuing to review data it has on people who get veterans benefits but don't file a tax return. The IRS does...
Folks, there is an updated list of states that are about to send out a fourth check this month, and the lawmakers in many places like Illinois, Pennsylvania, and even New Jersey have released programs that are providing millions of dollars to thousands of low-income residents. So the several arrival dates for these payments have been confirmed and just announced. I'll be revealing these details in this video. Stimulus payments are back. Although the crisis has become more bearable, Americans are still dealing with a tough financial crisis to deal with. CNBC reports about 62% of workers across the country live paycheck to paycheck. It has led to many state governors to agree to send out bonus checks to the residents. It includes people in places like New Jersey and Pennsylvania and Rhode Island. For instance, New Jersey is offering another program to give communities stimulus money and to help the people out. Now, if this applies to you, you must file an application with the state's Division of Taxation by December 30th. Payments will go out in the spring, and families can expect to receive a child rebate in the state of Rhode Island. The program provides a rebate of $250 per child for up to 3 children, or $750 per family. To be eligible, you must be a resident for all of 2021, and children must be 18 years or older to qualify for this check. Now, if you're $100,000 as an individual, you'll get the payment as well. Now, people say in the state that the checks were mailed out early in October last month, and for those that filed a 2021 tax return, you should have gotten yours by the middle of this month. So, In addition to this low-income stimulus money, Pennsylvania low-income homeowners and renters are getting some bigger financial relief. Most checks will be capped at $650, though some homeowners will see a boost of $970 based on age, widow, or even widower status and disabilities. There's also news for the Delaware residents. State officials have said you must be able to send in an application through the end of this year in order to get the $900. You can also get a $300 one-time check. To receive the money, you must be a resident of Delaware by the end of this year. In addition, you have to apply for it. The deadline to apply for it, though, is towards the end of this month, so make sure you get your money fast. Nancy Pelosi also said that she will address her future plans this week. A spokesperson for Pelosi said that Nancy Pelosi has been overwhelmed by calls from colleagues and supporters. The speaker plans to address her future plans tomorrow. So, I hear that Nancy Pelosi is retiring, but it still means one thing: stimulus is still necessary. Speculations over Nancy Pelosi's future has intensified in the aftermath of the midterms. Now, some people in Washington say that she can send out more stimulus money before the end of her career, so hopefully she will do this. Now, CNN did project that Republicans are going to take control this January through a smaller margin than they hoped for. Pelosi said in a separate statement that the House had defied expectations in midterms and didn't mention any of other future plans. The longtime Democratic leader told CNN that members of her caucus had asked her to reconsider running in the party's leadership elections at the end of the month, and Pelosi is an important figure in American politics with a history-making legacy, as the first and so far only woman to be the Speaker of the House. Do you support Nancy Pelosi and her move on stimulus, everybody? Tell me in the comments.
Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs will come to order. Welcome to the witnesses and committee members. We know that most Americans want the same things: a safe, affordable place to call home, a good-paying job, a strong, stable government which they can trust. Our democratic institutions are only as strong as the people who empower them. Our economy works best when we have a free and fair democracy in which everyone can live lives with dignity. For too long, many of these dreams have fell out of reach. Working families struggle to pay for groceries, to keep gas in their car, to keep a roof over their heads. The cost of living and raising kids continues to rise. Democrats are listening and have delivered for the American people. We've passed legislation to lower prescription drug costs. We helped families stay in their homes during the height of the pandemic. We made investments in public transit and our nation's infrastructure. For the first time in generations, we focused on communities that our governments turned their back on, especially, for instance, in my state, it's state government. Now we're tackling inflation by taking on corporate power and consolidation and reducing our dependence on foreign oil. We do that while creating good-paying manufacturing jobs at home. These jobs, making semiconductors, electric vehicles, solar panels, are the jobs of the future. These jobs will go to Americans because we passed the CHIPS Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, and the bipartisan infrastructure law with strong Buy America provisions that Senator Portman and I worked on. And we see results. Our economic recovery has been strong. Over the past 2 years, many Americans have built up more in savings. We've seen